All right, so I just finished seeing Tron Ares. This is gonna be my review. I just wanted to say I did a double feature. I got a chance to see Tron Ares and Roofman, so I will be letting you know about that one as well. I did enjoy both of them. I will not hide the lead. I do want to say something I did not expect. I thought that I would see a little bit more of the actual beat in the Tron world a little bit more, but I shouldn't expect that because even in the trailer they show you that Jared Leto character, he's trying to come to the real world basically to bring in Tron to us. But I did enjoy it. I just still wanted a little bit more of the Tron world, but I mean you get it. You pretty much get everything. The trailer is not misleading. The trailer basically gives you what they're promoting. But I will see one thing. I did see in IMAX, so I recommend if you have the opportunity to see in IMAX. The only reason I say that is because the soundtrack is killer. I gotta look it up, but you feel the sound. Obviously, the visuals is good. And one thing that I didn't really expect, I didn't expect them to go that hard with the story because I felt like they know people are gonna come because it's a built franchise already, and I felt like okay, they know they got the nice visual effects, they got the soundtrack, so I was like okay, maybe they're not gonna go too hard with the story. But I will be honest, like the story, I was really captivated more by the story than even the effects. Like the story, it makes you think about a lot of things about as far as just life and purpose, and everyone's gonna get something different. Some people might go in and just say okay, cool, there's effects, there's light, there's like the soundtrack is good, and they might be like, oh, I had a fun time. That's good too. But as far as when I was watching it, there was some pieces of dialogue, especially by Jared Leto, because he's playing a program. He's playing a program. He's not what you say real. He's not a real person. He's part of the program. And just certain things that he says in the film, it does make you think about life as well. And kind of like breaking from what you could say, whatever you think your program may be, you know what I mean? And finding your purpose and things like that. So for me, it was very thought-provoking in those ways. So I do think I recommend it. I would say definitely check it out. And if I did have to give this out of 5 stars, I would say I give it like a solid like 3.5 out of 5 stars. I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it for sure. Like I said, I did want more of the Tron world, but that's not really what it was about them come to us, you know what I mean? But I will say that. And something I do have to say as well, when I went to this theater, I thought, okay, I said, this is gonna be the last Tron movie. In my mind, I don't know why. That's what I thought. I said, there's no way they're gonna keep doing this. I just felt like, I don't know, but they did so good with this story. Like if they bring me back to this world in the future, I'll go see another one because they did so good on this one, you know what I mean? So hopefully the people who wrote this, if they do make another one, they come back because they did a great job. Like I said, this type of franchise is easy to kind of like rely just on the gimmick of it, you know what I mean? Like the premise alone sells this movie, going into a game, you know what I mean? Like, or the game coming to us, that premise alone brings people to the theater. So they didn't, like I said, they didn't have to go as hard as they did. And I really enjoy that they took the time to craft the actual story that kind of makes you think about, life and different things like that. And especially with AI and everything right now, it's like, I mean, it's always been kind of relevant because even when I watched I watched the original, I didn't finish it. I want to finish it before I do a review on the original. But even when I was watching it, it's still thought-provoking. The idea of, technology and going inside of it and how it evolves and stuff like that. That's still a great idea regardless. So I would recommend checking it out. And I just think Jared Leto's performance was great. Like, you know what it is? This role fit him so well. It just fit him. Like, I'm not saying I felt like I was watching Jared Leto, but like, I don't know. I just feel like he's just cool. Like, he's just a cool person anyways. Like, so I think it worked for him. And what else? What I'll say? And I like how this movie, it takes its time in certain points. Like, obviously it's fun, there's gonna be action and different things like that. But when the movie wants to have, it's actually serious moments of drama and, stuff dealing with loss and different things like that, it takes its time and it kind of lets you sit with those emotions for a little bit before going back into the intense, great score and great soundtrack of the film. Like when it needs to, that's why the soundtrack is really good, because when it needs to breathe and it needs to have those moments of drama and those deeper questions of like why we here and stuff like that, the score, you don't realize it, and that's when a soundtrack is really good, because you don't realize it until after the movie. Like you realize, okay, why is it as the film is going by, because when it needs to be quiet, the score kind of pulls back and it lets you enjoy those moments. And I realize it now after seeing the film, because I think back to when like my heart was pumping and the vibrations and the IMAX was going crazy, like those moments you feel it, but the only reason you feel it is because the film knows when to pull it back, you know what I mean? And then you enjoy the actual story. And then when it's time for them to have those action set pieces and things like that, then when the score comes back, you really feel it, you know? So I think they knew how to do that push and pull of the actual score. And I heard that the score was done by 9 Inch Nails, so that's probably why it's kind of epic as well. So definitely check out the score, I recommend. And anything else, let me see here. I would say I liked all the characters. I just like, I didn't expect it to be a smaller story. I thought it was going to be more of a bigger, kind of grander, like end the Tron world kind of story, but I like that it was smaller. Like the characters you're dealing with in this film, it's not too many of them. Like I could count on my hand like how many characters I actually remember, like about like 5 like really main characters that's like really making things move around this world and who you're actually dealing with throughout the script. And I like that because I think that's why the story was so good too, because like they weren't dealing with too much crazy elements. Like obviously there's elements of, you know, there's cops, there's a lot of things going on in the film that people are going to see these things happening, but they don't put too much attention on that. Like you see the news and people finding out like, oh, these things are in the real world now, but they don't give so much of the story to it that kind of takes away from the main characters. They pretty much stay with the main characters, and that's why I say like it kind of feels like more like a smaller scale story in this big world and dealing with everything else. So I think that's why you really get to really feel the drama between these characters and some of the actions, and even some of the actions by the main villain. Like stuff they did with him, I like because everything has a consequence. And I like the end because even though I'm not gonna give away anything, but even though at the end of this film, some people might say, oh, there's no consequence, or there is, whatever, depending on when you look at the main villain, there is a consequence, because what the main villain does or has to do, what has to happen with his life, there's such a big shift in his own perspective towards the end of the film, and that leaves it open, is what I will say. And I like that because now I want more. Like I just want the people who wrote this and put this together to make the next one, hopefully. And hopefully we don't have to wait like another like 6 or 7 years, because normally with Tron, it's like it feels like every 10 years or something they redo it, but it's still a continuation. So hopefully if they do another one, it's not gonna be too far away. But I definitely did enjoy it, and I do think you should definitely check it out. And let me know what your thoughts are. Put it in the comments. And if you have seen the originals and the second one they did, you know, let me know if you think anyone is better. But I think they do pay a lot of homage. They pay a lot of homage to the original, because like I said, I didn't finish watching the original yet. I am gonna finish it, but from what I've seen in the original, if you rewatch the original and then go into this, it is going to be rewarding, because there's certain things I saw in this, like I'm just saying, there's certain things that happen in the original where in that Tron world, those marks are still there. So say someone crashed through a wall and there was like a big like event that happened in the first one. If you watch this one, you'll see certain elements of the first one that'll have that payoff, and also certain characters is what I will say. But definitely check it out if you like. This is my review for Tron Ares. Shout out to Jared Leto and everyone doing their thing over there. It didn't have to be as thought-provoking as it was, and I did enjoy it. So this is my review. It's Deja, know the name. Take care, spread love and light, and let's sign off.